Hey there, friends. Thanks for checking in. I just got back from an interview with Marcus Weldon. He is also known as the Santa Shooter. He was involved in a legal defensive shooting. And with this video, we're going to talk about the after effect. What happens after the shooting takes place, the financial and mental drainage that is pretty incredible. And he did a great job explaining everything that happened after his situation. He also wrote a book called The Santa Shooter, and I'm going to put a link in the description box below if you want to check that out. It is a case that drew national attention at the time, and he's still now trying to get back on his feet from that situation that happened in 2014. Equally important is that he's going to be one of our speakers at the 2A rally in Lansing, Michigan on November 5th at 10 a.m. I can't wait to hear him speak and tell more about his story. Instead of listening to me ramble on, let's get to that interview. Here we are with Marcus Weldon, otherwise known as the Santa Shooter. Thanks for joining me on the channel.
Thanks,
I can't wait to hear you speak at the rally. He's going to speak at the rally, but I'm going to quickly go through his situation, and he's going to talk about the aftermath effect of what happens after a legal defensive shooting. So you were coming off of work, it was like 1 a.m. He's dressed up in a Santa outfit because that's what he was doing at work, and he goes to help a friend of his who's a female who had a flat tire. At that point, a couple guys came up and started giving her grief. You stepped in, did the right thing, stepped in because that's your friend there. And then after an altercation took place and pushing and shoving, they went back to retrieve a firearm. You were prepared because you had your firearm ready, an XDM and 40 Smith & Wesson. He was ready to take care of what he had to, and he turned around with what looked like a revolver, which was never fully discovered at the time. Correct. What the firearm was. They ditched it, but then you eventually that night got arrested. Correct. And I'm going to let you take it over from here because we're talking about the after effect of a defensive shooting.
Yeah, the aftermath is really it's a tough process to go through. You're talking about financially draining, being locked up, sitting in the cell for at least 72 hours before they process you.
72 hours.
At least. And then you're talking about also the physical portion of it, that taking a toll of your body. Once your mind is depleted and you're tired, you're talking about not eating, therapy. I had to go get some therapy help, and I'm not ashamed to say it. A lot of people, a lot of men, they don't want to say, hey, I need help mentally, but it's something that you definitely are going to need. We
always talk about stress, the stress that happens. Now we train for it, but you really can't train for the actual shooting part, can you? Right, yeah,
that part is, the targets are altogether different. Yeah. Right? Especially when you're trying to shoot and avoid and move, and you got a moving body that's coming at you. I mean, the adrenaline is pumping through your body. It's crazy because your level of awareness is heightened, but yet everything's moving in slow motion, but you're so scared, you're almost on autopilot. So it's almost like when you're firing your firearm, it's not you. You're looking in third person. You're looking at yourself like, what the heck is going on? And of course, this is people who, you're not used to this. You're not like in combat mode where you're constantly in Iraq shooting. So we're just everyday citizens.
Sounds like an out of body experience. Like, yeah. Here it is. It's going down and it's happening now.
Yeah, and I remember looking at my firearm and I'm watching shells go, and I'm looking and I can almost see the fire, and it was just like the noise wasn't even loud. It was like it was almost like it was muffled or something. But I think my awareness and my adrenaline was just pumping so much that it just happened so fast. It was like the Matrix.
Well, let me ask you this. You are getting prepared. Now, you were doing the right thing. You were carrying a firearm. You had a Santa Claus outfit on, gained national news. Everybody was aware of this, and yet you were still carrying like you should have been. What would happen if you did not have that firearm?
Probably been dead. I mean, it's easy. Could have been, or she could have been abducted or killed, raped. I don't know. It's one of those things where, your hindsight 2020, you look back, what could have happened, but definitely being at a gas station late at night, anything could happen.
Well, there were 2 guys that pulled up and maybe more, right?
Yeah, and at the time I didn't know how many.
You were by yourself in a Santa Claus outfit, so it's not as if you were easily identified, and you didn't, you running around and all that. You had a Santa Claus outfit on, which made things worse.
Made things worse.
But that's what gained the attention. But you hit. Turns out you hit your target.
Hit my target actually twice. I hit him in the abdomen and the leg. The crazy part about that was, once the situation happened, there's a videotape. No one, it's almost like they didn't review it because you see his partner go out and run to the dumpster. So if you're a law enforcement, you would think, hey, let's check the dumpster, see what did he throw anything in there.
Anytime there's a shooting, check the dumpster and the surrounding areas.
They admitted they never checked the dumpster. They admitted they didn't even check the scene. It was only just a car, which obviously, you know, if I'm gonna hide a fire, I'm not gonna hide it in my car,
right?
You know, but it was an arduous process I had to go through, man.
Were you treated as a criminal?
I was treated as the Santa Claus shooter, the villain, actually the New York Times picked it up, and of course the local media took it and ran with it, and it became a situation where I was Santa shooting people over Mrs. Claus. That's what the whole.
Did you feel like a criminal?
There was like a lot of second questioning and everything. I remember sitting in the cell wondering, well, did I do the right thing? Because you almost. Especially after that, I'm dehydrated.
Sure.
I'm like, man, did I pull the trigger time? And I heard return fire. So in my mind, I'm like, I was so shocked. And actually, there was a witness who disappeared who also claimed.
Yeah, I saw that video. The guy, I saw him make the 911 call. That was on video, on audio. It was clear.
And he also made a written statement.
He disappeared from the scene. So if you were to give advice to the viewers, you'd say, gather your witnesses. And have your female friend do that, because you're all pumped up and fired up.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you think that would have helped?
Experts are great in this situation, because I had a firearms expert, I had a private detective, and he will go individually and give an interview to each witness. So now, if you do disappear, I have a statement that you written out, that I was able to at least cross-examine if you do come, or at least have as evidence. But of course, the prosecutor are going to try to fight that as hearsay if the witness doesn't show up. But at least you have something that you can something tangible.
You have to have something, because the audio wasn't. Thankfully, there was video recovered. But how much would you say you had into this whole thing?
Well, I'm still paying now. You're talking about easily $43,000 easily. I mean, you're talking about paying on tether per month. I always say close to 50 grand if you round it off. I missed work for about 6 months. I include that 6-7 months of not getting paid at all. I include the bond.
Two jobs,
both jobs.
2 jobs, and now you're stuck at home with a tether that you're paying for.
I'm paying for. You're paying every week for this thing.
Oh my
And you're
gosh.
talking about, of course, attorneys. You're talking about experts. Each expert's like $1,500, and I had about 3-4 of them. Not to mention my attorney. He's paid by the hour. So you're talking easy. I tell people at bare minimum, you're talking about 25 grand on up.
And the other people lied, and the way I understand it, they made the 911 call first.
Right.
And so your advice would be make the 911 call first, because that was used against you.
Used against me. And the one thing, I had my phone, I was making a 911 call, but I was still being chased, I thought, by the individuals, because a black car was coming at me. Turned out it was off-duty police officer.
Yeah.
So in a panic, in a frantic mode, I had 911 on phone. I'm running down the street. So it just, you got to realize too, this is traumatic. It's not you're not sitting here calm. You're shaking. My phone, I'm like, my hand is like this,
Yeah.
So it was tough to get that 911 call out.
Okay, so let's flash forward here. You went through all of this, and you were exonerated.
Exonerated
of all charges.
All 7 felonies.
And you still have debt. You still have some people view you as a criminal, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And you had to deal with all the media and all of that stuff, and yet this is the stuff nobody talks about.
No one talks about it.
People think they use their firearm in a self-defense situation, everything's good, but it's not. It takes years, doesn't it?
Yeah, I just recently was fully cleared, actually a couple months ago, because they didn't clear my name out the system, so I couldn't get my firearm back. Or my carry permit. So I've been, I just recently got that cleared. And then of course I had to take the class all over because my certificate was expired, just to get my firearm carry permit.
And you're gonna do that through Rick?
Rick Ector, yeah.
I can't wait to hear him speak as well. He's pretty dynamic.
Yeah, he's dynamic.
Yeah, you guys are gonna be awesome. All right, well, I appreciate you coming on, letting everybody know that there's a process that is not fun. It's expensive, it's mentally draining, and this was all from a legal defensive shooting, and you were prepared, and I appreciate it, man.
All right, thanks, man. It was good. Glad you had me on.
And those who are coming to the rally or thinking about coming to the rally, he's going to share more about his story at the 2A rally in Michigan at the state capitol on November 5th at 10 a.m. I cannot wait to hear Marcus speak, as well as some of the other speakers we have scheduled 1 week from today in the 10 a.m. time slot in Lansing, Michigan. We're going to have a great rally. Excitement is building up. And if you're from Michigan, I want to see you there. If you like videos like this, please subscribe, and share. I always appreciate the thumbs up button. Thanks for watching, and you guys be safe.